Namaste, my name is Sanat Kumar. Welcome back to the Manana podcast. Manana is a Sanskrit word that means reflection or contemplation. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my deep, insightful reflections for you to contemplate and hence live a life of fulfillment. I hope you find great value in today's episode. God. Who is He? Why do we need Him? Should we pray and chant? So these are the questions we will be discussing in this episode. So I have been a serious devotee at times, also an atheist for a while, and again now back to being a divinely connected man. So if you are an atheist or if you are in the verge of becoming an atheist, I think you should listen to this. This might help you. This might help you clear a lot. So first of all, let's realize that something is beyond you. I think you should notice I said realize, because many a times we know things but we don't realize things, right? We know the fact that we may die today or tomorrow, and yet we keep making the same mistakes. We keep living the same meaningless life even though we know tomorrow we might die. We keep on saying to ourselves, we keep on lying to ourselves that after this I'll do that, after so many years I'll do that. How do you know you exist then? We haven't realized that fact yet. So I emphasize that again. Let's realize that something is beyond you. Okay? So there is some ultimate power that controls everything. Atheists usually believe in science, at least for most of the atheists I've met. They believe in science and they think God is absent because He's not in science. But of course, He's everything, He's in everything. But don't you think there is something beyond science at every stage? Before we discovered the earth was round, by the science according to that time, people thought the earth was flat. Then they discovered it to be round. But that does not mean earth has changed its shape from being flat to an imperfect sphere, right? It was always a sphere. It's just that people didn't know. Similarly, just because you don't know something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Many inventions follow the same path, right? Even before the aeroplane was invented, we didn't know that we could fly. Of course, we Bharatiyans knew because Pushpaka Vimana, Ravana flew that so many thousands of years ago. We knew that, but at least for the manipulated history we have now, we didn't know that we could fly until Wright brothers invented the aeroplane, right? So awareness is the explanation. Till we are not aware of something, we think that is not possible or that doesn't exist. The same thing happens here. Just because you don't know, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So that is the first point. I've talked to many atheists over time. They ask me, where is God? Show me. I can't see Him anywhere, then why should I believe in God? Again, just because you can't see doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? So I asked my dear atheist, can you see the air around you? No. He can't, right? But he still believes in air being the strongest factor in his survival. In fact, he does not have to believe that. But it is still the air that is the strongest factor in his survival, right? Whether he believes it or not, he can survive only if he inhales the air and exhales air. So then he asked me, well, I can feel the air, but can't experience God. True. For now, you are not able to experience God because you have not stopped even for a while to experience Him. We can experience something only when we bring our awareness or consciousness to that, right? Only when we focus on something. So for example, if I want to concentrate on my breath, I should get my focus there to my breath. Then only can I feel the breath, right? So that is just one explanation. The other explanation would be, just like you have eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, those are all the sense organs you have. So there is limitation to your sense organs, right? Like for example, some animals can see UV light, some animals can hear subsonic sounds and ultrasonic sounds. Can you? No. We are limited to 20 hertz to 20k hertz, right? So there is so much beyond your sense organs. So just because you can't see is only one sense organ, right? Just because you can't see that does not mean God doesn't exist. Just because you can't hear also doesn't mean God does not exist. Moreover, you haven't given even time, or you haven't thought about giving some focus to listening to God, right? Okay, I hope that explains, or that has convinced you that there is something beyond you and there might exist God. There are so many things that science cannot explain. So now that is clear, let's see how I can explain further who God is, how we can experience Him, get guidance, help, and support from Him, and ultimately be with Him. So, Him is just for convenience. You can call it also. His, he, she, whatever. So, we know that there exists some power that is ultimate, as we discussed. This power is the cause of this whole universe existence, the cause of your heart beating naturally, the cause of germination of seeds and everything. All those that seem chaos is actually order, right? But we cannot understand that. Only in the God's mind, it is all order, right? We get oxygen from diatoms inside the ocean, which are very, very micro particles. You cannot even see them through naked eyes. Of course, when they are at large number, we can see through our space station. All these things is very well structured. All nature, the entire existence is so well architectured, so well engineered, right? We are not even close to such a creation. He is the creator of creator, right? So the ultimate power should actually be shapeless, formless, characterless. So that can be called as Nirakara Parabrahma, or casually called as Brahman. So this ultimate power cannot even be described correctly, okay? Because we are assuming that this formless, shapeless character as the ultimate God, because you cannot directly come to inference that someone is God, some entity is God, right? So we are coming in that direction. And of course, if we talk about Advaita, that will be the same. We are not talking about that. However, you can read my blogs 58, 59, and 60 to know more about Advaita. It will give you a way better clarity on what Advaita is, and moreover, it gives clarity on what Advaita is not. So we humans are the Jiva, and the Sadguna Parabrahma is the God we worship. So why do you think these things came? You can understand that Jiva, that is we, humans, plants, insects, animals, microorganisms, every living form is called Jiva, or it might be casually called as Atma. So the Sadguna Parabrahma's role came in when, for us to experience the ultimate power, we tend to pray, right? We want a means of communication. And for means of praying, we need to describe the features of what we are praying, right? We cannot pray for the ultimate power if it is formless and characterless. And hence we pray for the Sadguna Parabrahma. In layman's term, God. It might be anyone, Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Hanuman, Buddha. Since these have forms, character, and names that we give, we can pray, chant, ask for wishes, and whatnot. Right? Also, what I would like to point out that at some point in time, God, the Sadguna Parabrahma, was just another jiva. You can see that Rama, Krishna were all humans like us, who then through character and deeds, he or she became a god. So you can also say that there is essentially only two separate kinds of entities, Jiva and Paramatma. That is Dvaita. Or you can also say, as Jiva and Sadguna Parabrahma are origins from the Nirguna Parabrahma, that formed everything, right? That there is only one kind of entity, the Parabrahman, the Brahman. So that will become Advaita. I'm just simplifying it for the convenience of understanding. Either way, your only way to praise the ultimate power is through Sadguna Parabrahma, the God. You can only pray the form one. You cannot pray the formless. You can only meditate on the formless. Moreover, it is almost impossible for you to liberate without the help of Sadguna Parabrahma, without the help of any God. When I was an atheist, I believe I could be without the God and reach great feats by realizing the Nirguna Parabrahma, which then I realized was so difficult to pursue, and it is, as I said, it is almost impossible. So the Parabrahman, the Nirguna Parabrahman has no likes or dislikes for you to please. So you won't have any support in your conquest of your purpose in life if you don't believe, surrender, love and pray to the Lord, the Sadguna Parabrahma. But why pray at all, you may ask. You may ask, I don't care about Sadguna, Nirguna, I don't care anything about God. I don't care, why should I pray, you may ask. You may say you don't need support. Don't you think you need luck in any field you go? No matter how good you are at what you do, you still need luck. Of course, we might not even call it luck. The chaos, the beautiful chaos that we don't understand, that is why we call it chaos, but it is well structured and well architected, well engineered chaos by the God. So to understand or even control that is out of our feet. It can be only possible with such great power like God. So luck is nothing but the right place and right time. And that is exactly what the universe controls. And that is why you need God. Not only for luck, you need God for your guidance in the form of intuition, creativity, hope for a better tomorrow, and also to ensure your work gets the result it deserves, right? I think at this point I'll quote Blaise Pascal. He offers a pragmatic reason for believing in God. He says, even under the assumption that God's existence is unlikely, the potential benefits of believing are so vast as to make betting on theism rational. Wow, that's so true. So believe, surrender, love and pray to God. You can choose anyone for that matter. Rama, Krishna, Hanuman, Buddha, as I said. You can choose anyone. It doesn't matter, as we already discussed. All are from the same origin. To start with, I suggest you chant something. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Because we know this, we know his life story. Even evidence of the bridge from Bharat to Sri Lanka to prove his existence. We know his character, and it's the most near ideal character, right? Rama's character is like ultimate. Or if you like Krishna, you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's your choice. Again, it doesn't matter who you pick. Just believe, surrender, love and pray. By which your life becomes a smooth sailing journey with no unnecessary turbulences. At least if there is some turbulence, you'll know how to handle it. You'll know how to walk through. I hope you received excellent value in today's episode. To know more, head over to sanatkumarnahibi.com, and if you haven't already, check out my book, The Flower of Fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and I wish you have a great day.